Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to my Trying a New Makeup Product Everyday series. Today I'm going to be trying out the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. And this is one of the makeup products that I picked up at Walmart where it cost about $8.50. And this just seems like a classic, kind of essential powder to have in your makeup routine. But what I really like about this one is that it comes in a nice shade range. I picked this up in the shade Light, and it's not really supposed to have like coverage like a powder foundation. It's supposed to be sheer coverage, but it's supposed to be smoothing and mattifying, and that's what I could really use on my skin right now. I have large pores that I love to smooth over. My forehead is where I'm the most shiny, but I also just applied some concealer that is creasing, so I want to also see if this is good for setting makeup to prevent creasing. And this is cruelty-free and vegan. And you can apply this with a sponge, with a brush. I feel like any kind of application technique that you want. I feel like I need to get those puffs that are very popular on Amazon. They're like triangle shaped puffs. I feel like that would be really perfect for something like this too. I don't have those, but I've been wanting to get them. I think I'm going to first start out with my dampened beauty sponge, and let's see how this is at setting my concealer. I'm just worried it might be a little bit too dark for setting concealer, but let's see. I'm going to just pick up a little bit onto the sponge. It's like actually hard to pick it up on the sponge. There we go. Like, I don't know if my sponge is too wet for this powder, but it wouldn't really pick up, and now it's just going on chunky. So that didn't work. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and try this with a brush, but I guess that initial technique of trying it on my under eye didn't work. Maybe you can't use a wet sponge with this, but that seems so weird. Just picking up a little fluffy brush, I feel like you can't go wrong with that. I mean, it picked up nicely on the brush. I'm just going to go ahead and dust it onto the skin. I'm just going to focus it onto half of my face so that we can compare the difference. Ooh, yeah, it is very invisible, which is what I want from my powder. And I would say that it has mattified the skin, like you can see on my forehead, like how it's not as reflective shiny, but it doesn't look drying, which that is exactly what I would want. I would want my skin to not look dry matte, but not look greasy. And this is going on so soft, invisible, it's so finely milled. That does look very nice. So if you can see, without it, with it, it definitely took away all of the shine, but it didn't leave behind a powdery texture, didn't create any dryness. I tend to get dry patches on my chin, but even though my chin is matte, there's no dry patches peeking through. But you can see, like, there's no coverage or color from this. Since the dampened sponge wasn't working, I'm going to try, it's just like blending out the creases. I don't know, I want to try just maybe using my finger to set the creases on my under eye. But wow, yeah, even as I'm trying to pick it up on my finger, it's almost like it's hard to pick up. So I don't think it's actually necessarily the sponge's fault. It's a very interesting thing, how it's like hard to pick up much at a time. Oh, but you can even see, like, just with that amount, this light shade is too dark for my under eyes, which I like to keep my under eyes very light to cover up the under eye circles and give a highlighted effect. So I'd have to go with like the white or translucent version of this for that area. But since it is a finely milled, smooth, soft powder, the powder looks good. It's just the color that's off. But I'm liking how it is for setting the rest of my face. So I'm just going to go ahead and I like using a fluffy brush and just finish brushing it all over the rest of my skin. Yeah, it does a nice job of not completely getting rid of the large pores, but it really does help put a smoothing effect over them to help minimize and smooth the skin, which I really love. And it is really quick and easy to apply all over. Even like I have my brows filled in, I can easily brush over the brows and it doesn't mess up the brow makeup. It'll help set everywhere so quickly and easily. So for that purpose, I like this. It's not the most mind-blowing, incredible powder I've ever used, but it's standard, it's good, and it works for the purpose of mattifying the skin and setting the makeup. So I would say if that's what you want to get from your powder, this is a good option. I personally really like to use my powders to set my concealer. So if I'm going to use a powder that's going to be setting my face, I also want it to be able to set my concealer so that I'm not reaching for two separate powders, which is what I would have to do in this case. But that's really, I could just get a different shade of this. So if you've tried out the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop mattifying powder, let me know in the comments down below how it works for you. Let me know what your favorite uses are for it. And thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.